What's up, everyone? This is the truck talk for Pickwick Lake. We actually just wrapped up Pickwick. I did one on the way down, and a lot of stuff happened this week that I thought would make a better truck talk than what we did on the way down. Yeah, we had a really rough day one and made a little comeback on day two, and this is basically what I want to talk to you guys about. A few weeks ago, I was scrolling through Instagram, and I saw this ad for, like, I think they were hats, t-shirts, and bracelets, but on it said, "Don't let the tough days win." And that kind of like hit home. I was like, that's been having a lot of tough days this year. Like, all year I've had one really bad day and one great day, and it's causing us to stay in the middle of the pack, where if we just made a few good decisions, we'd be in the top 10. And this one, Pickwick, I had a great practice. I mean, I try not to stick a lot of fish in practice, and like, I accidentally caught one day, my first day of practice, I had like 17 pounds, and I found a shad spawn deal, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I checked on it on the second day in the morning, and it was still like going on, and I didn't check on it in the same spots. I checked on it on similar stuff throughout Pickwick Lake, and it was still going on. I'm like, oh, perfect. So I was like, let's go find a plan B. And I found a lot of shallow fish in like 4 to 6 feet of water, and they were spawning on gravel bars, and I could catch them on a minnow. And I accidentally stuck, like, could not get my minnow away from them fast enough or shake them off, and had 25 pounds that day. And that's just the ones that I stuck. I mean, there was others, like I caught an 8-pounder, and there's 4 there that were about the same size. And day two, I ran up to the tail race and got a couple 3-pound bites, and I was like, cool, there's my plan C. Worst comes to worst, I can come up here and catch 15 pounds. And day one, we go out, and the wind was blowing against the current. And, well, to start the day, I went and did the shad spawn thing, and I don't know, the third dock I fished, I caught a 5-pounder, and then quickly caught another 2. And I'm like, oh, all right, today's gonna be a good day. Well, the shad weren't in there or in any of the other areas where we found them. And I did that till about 9 o'clock, and which was a little too long, I think. But I was like, all right, well, we'll go out to those spawning fish. By that time, the wind picked up, and it was blowing against the current, and just made it so I couldn't present my bait right, and I was having a hard time getting bit on other stuff. Like, I could easily get bit on a minnow, but those fish on those gravel bars, I couldn't really get to eat anything other than a minnow. And I tried. I mean, I threw a Nico on them, and it was just hard with that current was pulling my bait down the lake, and the wind was blowing me up the lake, so it was just pulling my bait. Like, you couldn't present the bait right, and it was just hard. And I was being hard-headed, and I stayed on that stuff way too long. And the whole time I'm like, I should just go up to the tail race and catch me my 15 pounds. But I'm doing the math on what's left for time, and I'm like, I don't have, it's 12 o'clock now, and I'm like, that's an hour run up and an hour back, and I'm doing at 3:30, so I'd only have an hour to fish. And so I scrambled. I went and hit some brush pile stuff that I had, and day one we can use scope. So I'm out. I'm like, that's another thing, is I'm like, oh, I don't want to waste my non-scope fish on a scope day. And so we run out of time, and we go in with 7 pounds. And I'm a big believer in negativity is contagious, and our whole group had a bad day. Spike had the best day at 13 pounds, and we went to dinner, and I joked, and I was like, I'm done, I'm selling my stuff, just joking around. But I was like, I'm not gonna, I pretty much thought my season was done. I was out of the championship. There's no way I could make the championship with another bad finish, because we had a bad finish in Florida. And I was just pretty down in the dumps, and I was like feeling like I wanted to hang it up for the season, save my money, and take a shot at it again next year. And I went to bed, and I'm sitting in it on Instagram, scrolling on my phone, and there's that bracelet again, and it says, "Don't let the hard days win." And I'm like, yeah, all right, we're gonna let's do some math here. And so I sat down, and I figured out what I needed to get paid, and I figured out what I needed to make the day 3 cut. And I figured I needed like 23.5 to get paid, and that like 24.5 to make the cut. And so we went out, and I said, I'm gonna skip the shad spawn, I'm gonna go up to the tail race, I'm gonna catch my 15-16 pounds, and we'll figure out how to get big bites after that. And I run all the way up there. It's an hour-long run, and I get up there, and I fish, and the water's way down. Like, I can see all the rocks now. Like, the rocks are 1.5 feet out of water, and in practice the water was flowing over them, and I was actually on the top side of them in practice, and now it's dry land. So I hit that first little hole up there inside the horseshoe, which is a popular area up there, and nothing. So I sit down, and I crank my motor over, I put it in gear, and I can't put it in gear. I'm pretty sure my shift actuator went out, and I'm like, I'm just done. I'm gonna go put it on the trailer, take an Uber an hour back to my truck, go get my truck, and come back and get my boat. And I thought about that bracelet again, and I'm like, you just got to get through this. You can't let these things beat you and get you down. Let's just go have fun. It is what it is. I'm gonna get a ride back. There's a couple other anglers up there, and it's like, I'll get a ride back, and we'll just have fun today. And so I put my head down, and we trolled and motored up to my next spot, and went to catching them, and caught the second biggest bag of the day, which was enough at the time to get me paid. It wasn't enough to get me inside that cut. I had it was 23.5, somewhere right around there. And I talked to a couple anglers that were up there, and I said, hey, can one of you guys come get me at the marina? I'm gonna leave now, which was 2 hours early, and I'm gonna trolling motor 3 miles to the marina. And I trolling motor all the way over there, and my buddy John Levesque says, I'll meet you over there at whatever it was, 2:30, and we'll make the hour run back. We can park your boat on the marina dock, and we'll run back. Well, 2:30 comes around, he rounds the corner, pulls in, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna load my fish up. And I open my big side, because, you know, we always gotta separate. we all get a big side in the live well when you got 5 fish. And I open up the big side, and my two out of my 3 5-pounders are floating. And one of my live well pumps went out. So it was just another thing to add on top of a already very up and down day. But I load them up and we run all the way back. And I had, 8 ounces in penalties. And I made a comeback from, I think it was 87th to 36th. And I missed a check by 2 ounces. But the one positive out of this is that saying, and if you stay negative, it's just gonna burn you out and wear you down. And we didn't let the bad things beat us and get us down. We're back inside the championship cut line, and we made a great comeback. It kind of stinks we didn't get a check out of this one, but I mean, this is just something that, I mean, whether you fish or not, negativity is a virus, and it spreads quick. And if you let those hard times get you down and beat you, you can spiral downwards really quick. So whether you fish or whether you just need something in life to keep you going, just don't let those tough days win, and keep looking forward and find the positives in everything. We made a comeback. We're back in the championship, and I mean, to me, I'm a bass fisherman. This is my life. It's tough doing what I do, but people are going through a lot worse. So spread some positivity, and just stay positive and don't let those hard times win. So I'll catch you guys all at the next one. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys all like and subscribe, and hopefully we get a big old sack of big largemouth at the James River. I'll see you all later.